We've all been there, right? That feeling of just running on empty.
Oh, absolutely. Constantly pouring from an empty cup, as they say.
Juggling work, family, the daily grind. And suddenly you realize you're irritable, you can't focus, you're just utterly drained.
Yeah, like that internal battery alarm is just screaming at you.
Exactly. And, often the first thought is, man, I just need a vacation, a big escape.
Right. Get away from it all.
But what if the real secret, what some are calling this sort of recharge button for genuine long-term resilience, what if it isn't that grand escape? What if it's something much closer, maybe even overlooked?
Well, you're pointing right at this core concept of self-care.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting, what the research suggests, is that it's not just about feeling better now. It's actually a direct path to, believe it or not, neuroplasticity.
Neuroplasticity. Okay, unpack that a bit.
Yeah. It basically means that consistent self-care can literally physically rewire your brain over time. It helps you build greater resilience against stress. We're talking lasting changes, not just, temporary relief.
Wow.
It really ensures you can show up as your best self, not just for you, but for everyone else in your life too.
That's a really powerful idea right from the start. Okay, so when we talk about self-care, like you said, I think most of us immediately picture, I don't know, a bubble bath, maybe a good book. Is that really what we're defining it as here, or is there something deeper, more intentional?
Oh, absolutely. More than just a bubble bath. Though let's be honest, a good bubble bath definitely has its place, right?
It definitely doesn't hurt.
No. But at its core, self-care, as it's really defined, is about any deliberate activities or practices, things you intentionally do to promote your physical, your mental, and your emotional well-being.
Deliberate. That seems key.
It really is. It's about consciously taking care of your own needs, actively choosing things that replenish your energy, that restore balance to your life. It's an intentional act, not something you just accidentally fall into. And by making that conscious choice, you're just better equipped to handle life's curveballs and be there for others.
Okay, but here's where I think it gets really interesting, maybe a bit tricky. Sometimes something feels good right now, in the moment, but it might actually be doing more harm than good down the line. How do we tell the difference between real self-care and, well, just self-indulgence?
Ah, yes. That's where a lot of people get tripped up, and it's a brilliant question. The simplest way the sources suggest telling them apart is to ask yourself this one question. How will this affect me in the long run?
Okay. Long-term view.
Exactly. See, self-care is really focused on preserving your physical and mental health for the long haul. And honestly, it often requires self-control, even discipline.
Right, like getting up early.
Precisely. Getting up early for consistent routine, even when you'd rather slam the snooze button. Or choosing healthy, nutrient-dense foods when grabbing something quick and junky is just easier. These things might feel a bit uncomfortable or require effort now, but they ultimately lead to sustained well-being. They help you avoid burnout.
Building a life you don't need to escape from, kind of.
That's a great way to put it. Now, self-indulgence, that's more about excessive, unrestrained gratification of desires. It gives you that instant, fleeting pleasure.
What quick hit.
Yeah, the quick hit. But it's often used as a way to avoid negative feelings or tough situations. And that can lead to negative outcomes, guilt, financial strain, neglecting your actual health goals.
Okay, give me an example contrast.
Sure. Think about consistently choosing unhealthy meals because it's just easier versus taking the time to prepare a balanced, nutrient-dense one that's indulgence versus care, or opting for enough sleep and sticking to a routine that's real self-care versus binge-watching shows all night, knowing you have that early start.
Right, that feeling when you've just binged 3 seasons of a show you didn't even really like that much.
Exactly.
And you're left wondering where the heck the time went and why you still feel so completely wiped out. That's the indulgence trap.
You got it. It's like the junk food version of self-care. Feels good for a second maybe, but leaves you feeling worse later, like that third cookie that seemed like a good idea at the time.
Huh? Been there. So it's clear self-care isn't just one thing. It's like a whole universe of practices that really impact us, mind and body.
Absolutely. And the sources often break it down into these interconnected dimensions, sometimes called pillars. They really emphasize a holistic approach, impacting your mind, your body, and your spirit.
Pillars. Okay, like what?
Well, think of physical self-care first. This is the foundation, really. Things like getting consistent sleep, aiming for that 7 to 9 hours window. Proper nutrition, like the simple rule of thumb, half your plate fruits and vegetables. And deliberate movement. Even short bursts of activity, maybe 30 minutes, 5 days a week. It sounds basic, but it fundamentally shifts your mood and energy.
The groundwork.
Exactly. Then there's mental self-care. This isn't just about, stimulating your mind with reading or learning a new skill, which is great. But it's also about actively taking breaks from screens, maybe doing puzzles, things that promote clarity and focus, giving your brain a different kind of workout.
A mental reset.
Yeah. And emotional self-care. This is huge. Really recognizing, managing, and nurturing your feelings. That could mean practicing gratitude, writing things down in a journal to process emotions, or, crucially, setting healthy boundaries to protect your emotional energy.
Saying no can be self-care.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Very powerful self-care. Then there's social or relational self-care. We're wired for connection, right? So building a support network of people who lift you up, friends, family, participating in community activities, making dedicated time for loved ones, and importantly, knowing when it's okay to ask for help.
We often forget that one.
We do. And then you've got spiritual self-care, connecting with something beyond yourself, whether that's through meditation, prayer, spending time in nature, volunteering. Also, environmental self-care, creating a living space that feels healthy, organized, peaceful. It really affects your mental state.
Decluttering your space, decluttering your mind.
Exactly. And recreational self-care, making time for hobbies, fun outings, things that just bring you joy and recharge you. Even workplace self-care is critical, setting those professional boundaries, taking mental health days when needed, actually leaving work at work. These aren't just abstract ideas, they're actionable areas we can cultivate.
Wow, that's a really comprehensive view, an incredible breadth of options. But here's the thing, right? For so many of us, myself included, knowing what to do is one thing. Actually making the time for it in our completely jam-packed schedules, that feels like the real hurdle.
Oh, it absolutely is the challenge, isn't it? It can feel like a constant uphill battle. But here's the good news. According to the research, you don't necessarily need huge chunks of time.
Really?
Really. Even small pockets, we're talking as little as 5 or 10 minutes a day, can create significant internal shifts. The real keys are flexibility and intentional planning, weaving these practices into the daily rhythm you already have.
Okay, so make it practical. Give us some examples. What might these routines look like?
Okay, let's get concrete. Imagine this. A morning routine to boost your energy. Doesn't have to be hours long. First, maybe 5 minutes. Wake and hydrate. Try for a consistent wake-up time, and first thing, drink a glass of water. After hours of sleep, your body is naturally dehydrated. Even mild dehydration messes with your focus and clarity. Plus, water helps your kidneys flush out waste that builds up overnight. Simple, but really impactful.
Okay, hydration first. Got it.
Then, maybe 15 minutes. Get your body moving. Some gentle stretches, maybe a short Pilates routine. It improves flexibility, mobility, gets the blood flowing, and importantly, releases endorphins. Those are your natural mood boosters, setting a positive tone for the day.
Endorphins, nice.
Then, in the shower, maybe 5 minutes. Invigorate your senses. You could try ending with just a few seconds of cold water. Sounds bracing, but it boosts circulation and releases more endorphins. Leaves you feeling really refreshed.
Brr, maybe.
Huh. Or, if that's too much, just use energizing scents in your shower products. Think zesty sweet orange or maybe cedarwood. Wakes up the senses.
Okay, sense I can do.
And finally, another 15 minutes for a nourishing breakfast. Fueling your body with a balanced meal protein, healthy fats, complex carbs. It sets your energy levels properly for the hours ahead. It's not just about food. It's about setting a strong physiological foundation.
So that whole morning routine could be done in like 40 minutes.
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can adjust the times. Now, what about the evening? An evening routine for better sleep. Sleep is critical.
The bedrock, you called it.
Exactly, the bedrock where your body heals. So start by creating a calming atmosphere, maybe 5 minutes. Dim the lights. Use soothing scents like lavender. It's known to relax the nervous system. And keep the bedroom cool. Experts suggest between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 15.6 to 19.4 Celsius. A cooler room promotes better sleep.
Good tip.
Then maybe 15 minutes to unwind with evening skincare. A soothing routine, whatever that looks like for you, acts as a signal to your mind and body. Okay, it's time to rest now. It's a ritual. Helps you downshift.
A wind down signal.
Precisely. And finally, once you're actually in bed, take 5 minutes to practice mindful breathing. A really simple one is the 4-count inhale, 4-count hold, 6-count exhale. Breathing like this directly calms your nervous system, activating that rest and digest mode. It tells your brain to lower stress hormones like cortisol. It's like a physiological off switch to help you drift off.
4-4-6, I can remember that. What about during the day? Stress hits mid-afternoon sometimes.
Great point. How about a mindfulness routine to reduce stress anytime? First, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Pause and reset with mindful breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing is super powerful.
Yeah.
Focus on the rise and fall of your belly. It directly influences your body's state, lowers cortisol, eases anxiety. You can do it anywhere.
Belly breathing. Okay.
Then, maybe 5 minutes, relax with a DIY massage. Simple neck and shoulder tension release techniques. You can find tons online. It promotes relaxation, improves circulation, releases that muscle tension we hold, and boosts those feel-good endorphins again. Stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system. And finally, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. Write it out. Journaling. It creates order out of mental chaos, offers emotional relief. Just jot down worries, to-dos, whatever thoughts are swirling around. You could use prompts like, what's on my mind right now, or what am I grateful for today? It's like decluttering your brain.
I like that, decluttering your brain. These routines make it feel much more achievable. But, life happens, we get busy, things throw us off track. How do we move beyond just these individual acts and build habits that actually stick, sustainable habits for the long haul?
Ah, yes. That is where the rubber meets the road, isn't it? And it's so important to acknowledge those common obstacles you mentioned. Packed schedules, the tendency to prioritize work over our own needs, maybe even feeling guilty for taking time for ourselves.
That guilt thing is real for a lot of people.
It really is. But it's crucial to keep reminding ourselves, as the sources constantly emphasize. Self-care is not an indulgence. It's a necessity. It's essential for your mental and physical health. It's like charging your phone. You wouldn't feel guilty about plugging your phone in, right?
Huh. Good point. Never thought of it that way.
So how do we make it stick? Here are some strategies that seem to work. First, start small. Seriously small. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Choose just one new habit to focus on for a week. Maybe it's drinking that glass of water first thing. Track your progress. Celebrate that small win. Then maybe add another small thing next week. Consistency in small steps is way more powerful than trying for perfection once in a blue moon.
Small steps build momentum.
Okay. Second, environmental design. Basically, set up your physical space for success. Make self-care convenient. Remove the barriers. So keep your journal and pen on your nightstand. Keep your water bottle visible on your desk. Maybe leave your yoga mat rolled out where you can see it. These visual cues can be incredibly effective prompts.
Make it easy to do the right thing.
Exactly. Third, think about community support. Share your goals with supportive colleagues or friends. Find an accountability partner, someone you can check in with. Maybe even join or start a wellness initiative at work. We're social creatures. Knowing others are on a similar path or are cheering you on can be a huge motivator.
Don't go it alone.
Right. Fourth, embrace flexibility and review. Your self-care plan isn't set in stone. It should be a living document. Life changes, your needs change. So regularly revisit your plan. Does it still fit? Is it helping? Or is it adding stress? If something isn't working, don't just force it, adapt it. Be willing to adjust.
Be kind to yourself about it.
Which leads perfectly to the last point. Forgive yourself. Lapses will happen. You'll miss a day. You'll fall off track. It's absolutely crucial to forgive yourself when that happens. Don't beat yourself up. Reframe setbacks as learning opportunities, not failures. The goal isn't perfect execution every single day. It's about gently, gradually reestablishing your routine. Self-care is a journey, truly, not a destination. It's all about progress, not perfection.
That feels much more realistic. Progress, not perfection. I like that. So when you look at all of this, what really stands out to you, connecting it to the bigger picture, it feels like it's about so much more than just, taking a quick break. It really is about nurturing your well-being for that long-term resilience you mentioned.
Absolutely. What truly stands out, I think, is that developing a self-care routine is a fundamentally dynamic process. It demands self-awareness. You have to know what you actually need, which changes. It requires flexibility, the ability to adjust when life throws you those curveballs. And it needs consistent commitment, even if it's just small commitments. It's really not about achieving this state of perfect execution every single day. It's about the consistent, intentional practice across all those dimensions we talked about. Physical, mental, emotional, social, spiritual, environmental, recreational, even professional. It's like the daily maintenance of your most important asset, yourself.
And when you embrace that consistency, even the small acts, the long-term benefits seem pretty profound. You mentioned enhanced resilience, definitely improved mental health, just an overall greater sense of well-being. It really equips you to navigate life's challenges, not just get flattened by them.
Exactly. It allows you to show up as your best self, authentically, for yourself and, by extension, for everyone else in your life.
It makes so much sense. Showing up for yourself first lets you show up better for others.
Precisely. So maybe here's a thought to leave everyone with. Think about this. If you could commit to just one small, intentional self-care practice every single day for the next week, what would it be? Just one thing. And how do you imagine your internal battery might feel at the end of that week? What's one tiny step you'll take today to start nurturing your own well-being?
That's a powerful question and a great place to pause this deep dive. Think about that one small step you can take. We'll catch you next time.